Hi, Crosswatchers for Virgo. For those of you who don't know what a crosswatcher is, sometimes there's somebody that we're in a relationship with, or we're interested in, or an ex that we're curious about, and sometimes we're tempted to hop onto YouTube and watch tarot readings for their sign, get an idea of what's going on for them. That's what cross-watching is. Well, my dears, I'm cutting right to the chase, and I'm doing this for the cross-watcher. Keep in mind that this is still a general reading. It may resonate, it may not. The roles may be reversed for some of you. You might hear me say something and you might be like, oh no, Amethyst, it's the other way around. That happens too. If you are a Virgo watching this video, it may not resonate with you at all, simply because this is a cross-watcher video. And your person may not be watching my channel. They might not be watching my videos. They could be on another channel, or they might not believe in tarot, and they might not be watching any of these videos, okay? So again, it may resonate, it may not. No need to get your blood pressure up over it and get all angry in the comments, guys. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate, okay? This is not about spilling tea. This is not about getting into anybody's dirty laundry. I'm simply asking for information that's going to bring healing for Crosswatcher and Virgo. I want to know what is in everyone's best and highest interest to know, to bring about the most positive results. That is my focus. That is my intention. At the end, I'm going to pull a card from a different deck, which is going to be a special message from Virgo to Crosswatcher, okay? So let's see what's going on with your Virgo. We have 8 of Pentacles, very earthy energy, okay? Very Virgo energy. Your Virgo might be studying something at this time. They might kind of be trying to go next level in their life, and they're looking into ways of improving their life, or getting maybe some kind of certification, or getting some skill set that's going to advance them in their career or in their finances. However, when I pulled this card and I turned it over, the first thing I heard was self-improvement, self-help. So your Virgo, especially those of you who maybe you feel like, man, we would have had this perfect relationship, but there were some things getting in the way with Virgo, they may be getting some help. Okay, they might be doing some self-help stuff. They might be reading up on certain topics or subjects, or they might be just trying to improve themselves in terms of their career. Some of them maybe are going back to school, but there's definitely an energy here of working on one's self, okay? 8 of Pentacles is very hard-working energy. So even if you are dealing with a Virgo where you all are in separation and you're not in union, and even if it's a situation where you heard that they're with somebody else, or they ended up in another relationship, 8 of Pentacles says they're just really focusing on themselves right now. They might be spending a lot of time alone right now, really trying to perfect something, really kind of focusing on, you know, their abilities, their talents, their skill set, making themselves the best they can possibly be. I'm getting a lot of work, like a self-work, focusing on the self, improving the self, growth in that way, okay? Next we have 2 of Pentacles, so very busy. This card's been coming up for a lot of the different signs, so this is definitely a universal energy for a lot of people right now, where people are juggling a lot of things. They're trying to get to a lot of things. I feel in your case, Crosswatcher, your Virgo keeps meaning to reach out to you, but they've been very swamped and they've been very busy, and they've had a lot of things that they're trying to keep together, and it keeps getting pushed off. So those of you who are very like in tune, and you might like be feeling your Virgo, and you might be feeling like, I have a feeling I'm going to hear from Virgo. I have a feeling they're thinking about me, or I can really feel that they're like, you know, like kind of like needing me right now, and you've been maybe expecting to hear from them, and you haven't. It's because they've been very busy. If you are with a Virgo, you're already married to this person, or living with this person, or you all are already in a relationship, This person might be feeling a little stressed out and a little bit overwhelmed, you know, and you might not have a whole lot of time to spend together. Sometimes this is the kind of energy where the only time you can spend with this person if you all are doing the grocery shopping together or they're running the errands together, because that might be the only time they have when they're not at work or they're not dealing with somebody or something else. So this is about finding joy and finding fun in the mundane things, trying to make quality time out of the time that you all do have together. Next we have Two of Swords. Your Virgo is nervous about something. Okay, I feel like there's maybe something you all aren't discussing. Maybe Crosswatcher, you feel it's time for the next thing. Like you feel it's time to move in together, or you feel it's time to get married or get engaged, or it's time to have a baby, or it's time to buy a house, or it's time to move. You're just ready for some kind of big step, and this person might be putting it off. They have fears around it. Even though it seems like they're not taking action, that Eight of Pentacles in the beginning makes me feel like they are working on it. Maybe they're not talking a whole lot about it, but they are working on it, but they have fears about moving forward. Sometimes with Two of Swords, this can also be an impasse where you aren't seeing eye to eye on how things should be dealt with or how things should be done. Okay, and so it could be kind of like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore. But it's not because Virgo means to shut you out. I think Virgo just doesn't know how to solve this problem and is worried that it's going to end up leading to like bridges being burned or something like that. Some of you are like, oh, that bridge was already burnt, right? And so in that case, or in that instance, maybe Virgo wants to come back but doesn't know how to come back past that burnt bridge, right? So there's a little bit of like a stuck energy. There's a little bit of like, I don't know how to get past this. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to make this right, okay? And hence that Eight of Pentacles energy, the studying, the trying to figure it out, the trying to make it happen, that kind of energy. Okay, really trying to make this right, trying to make this happen, trying to bring this energy together, trying to find the solution. I almost feel, Crosswatcher, that a lot of you are dealing with a Virgo who maybe like they need your help, but they don't want to ask for your help. They want to just get it done and be like, look what I did. They might have some insecurity in that way. And you're like, dude, if you would just let me in and if you would just let me help, we could get this done together. It would be done much faster. Everything would be great. But Virgo might be a little bit stubborn in that way where they're not wanting to let you in. And you're like, well, just let me help you because you're stuck. They want to kind of get unstuck on their own. That's the feeling I'm feeling here. We do have King of Wands, okay? So some of you Crosswatchers, you've already moved on and you have another relationship, okay? And this Virgo is coming back around again. And you might be like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this because I'm going to be in this other relationship, and unless Virgo can prove to me that Virgo has changed, then, you know, I'm not going to jump into anything with them. I'll be their friend or whatever, but no, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to two-time anybody. King of Wands says be cautious because you're not going to be able to resist Virgo when Virgo comes back around. If you're going to be in this other relationship, and you think that you and Virgo are all just going to talk and be friends, and then Virgo's going to show you that they change, and then you're going to do the right thing and do things the right way and tell the current person, oh, you know what, you know, thank you, but I'm going to, you know, come out of this relationship. I'm ending things. I'm breaking up with you. I'm going to go be with my ex, or I'm going to go reconcile with my ex. It's not going to happen that way, okay? Because this King of Wands energy is very fast moving, and even if you're not the kind of person who would cheat on your partner, King of Wands says that you're not going to be able to resist. It's going to escalate pretty quickly. So even if you're not in that mindset, or even if you feel like, oh, there's no way because Virgo messed up their chances with me, even if you feel that way, King of Wands is saying do not be fooled, because there's still passion underneath here. There might be a lot of anger there, but that anger is fire, and underneath that fire there is passion that might surprise you. So if you really don't want that to happen, you're going to have to find ways to heal and release this person another way. For some of you, you're with Virgo. You're married to Virgo. You're living with Virgo. You're dating Virgo. And the King of Wands is somebody else. And if you're just saying, okay, well, I'm just going to be friends with this person and I'm going to be loyal and faithful. Again, there's a lot of passion with King of Wands. You're not going to be able to do that. Okay? So if you feel like you're wanting more passion in your current relationship, and somebody else on the outside, some of you it's a Virgo, some of you it's somebody else, is looking like something tempting, you're going to have to be the one to bring the passion into the relationship, because we already have a lot of this really busy energy. We have this stressed out energy. So you might be cross-watcher longing for a little bit of passion, longing for a little bit of fire. You're going to have to find ways to bring that playfulness in. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a situation of temptation, and you're going to find yourself in like a third party type situation. And some of you are like, heck no, that would never happen. I would never do that. I never cheat. I'm so faithful. I'm so loyal. And you may be, very much so. But this is a situation where the connection is so intense. You might fall into a situation that later you're going to regret if you're not cautious, if you're not careful. Okay, so that is coming up, cross-watcher, for you to be aware of. Oh, Queen of Wands. Look at this. Two of the same suit. King of Wands and Queen of Wands. This is soulmate energy. Okay, we have the king and the queen. They're equals. And not only are they equals as king and queen, they're king and queen of the same suit of the wands. They're like made for each other. It's the masculine and feminine versions of one another. Let's pull a clarifier here. How does King of Wands and Queen of Wands pertain in terms of cross-watcher and Virgo? In terms of cross-watcher and Virgo, what do these two cards mean together? Six of Cups, reconciliation. There's a reconciliation coming between you and this Virgo. It's undeniable. It's if you feel like you're done with Virgo and you just want Virgo to come and say sorry and grovel and have that kind of redemption and validation and then tell Virgo sorry, that ship has sailed. Six of Cups is saying it's not going to happen that way. You are going to have to flat out ignore this person when they reach out to you. Because if they get you to say one word to them, they're going to pull you in. And even if you feel like, oh, heck no, that bridge is burnt, there's no way in hell it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Or if you're watching and if you've just been like, I don't think this reconciliation is ever going to happen. Well, for many of you, this cards are saying you might be surprised. It's, you know, like the impossible might be becoming possible in terms of a reconciliation for some of you. So depending on how you feel, that could be a wonderful thing, or that could be the last thing that you want. If it's the last thing that you want, you're going to have to full on shut this person out. Silent treatment. Don't answer. Block them on social media if you need to, because even if you want to answer and say something like, go to hell, I'm never going to talk to you again, I hate your guts, they're going to find a way to pull you in. This is a very intense connection. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you like feel like you can feel this person psychically, like you feel their energy around you, like it's a living person that's still like visiting you in a spiritual way through your dreams, or you're just feeling their energy around you. So my darling, it might be a good idea to do some cord cutting here if this is something that you're not wanting to happen. If you are a Virgo and you're watching and you feel like you miss somebody and they don't care about you, or they took advantage of you, it's safe to say this person is longing for you. Even though this is a cross-watcher video, I kind of feel like there's some bad blood here, but there's still some love underneath that bad blood. Okay? There's still some love, some very strong mutual love. beneath that bad blood. Like, you all are cut from the same cloth, okay? And so it's going to be very hard to completely and totally discard that. For some of you, I do feel this is a toxic connection, though. Like, you might even feel like, no, this person's bad for me, or this person is not going to be able to step up and give me what I want out of life and out of a relationship. For example, maybe you don't want to have kids and this person is like hell-bent on having kids, or vice versa. Like, you really want to have kids and they don't, or you want to live a very monogamous lifestyle and they want to like have this really wild and free kind of life, or whatever it might be. You might already feel, you might feel like, yeah, I do feel connected with this person, but we just don't want the same things. There's still this very strong magnetism. So if you don't want to waste any more time or any more years, you have to full on not answer this person. If you're tempted to reach out to this person just to say your final piece and get your closure, I strongly suggest that if you are at that place where you're really ready to let this go, that you do it in terms of a cord cutting without contacting this person, because you will get sucked into it again. And for some of you, not all of you, some of you, all you're gonna get is more of this stuck energy, this impasse, right? Where you can't seem to agree. You don't want to give up, but you don't want to let go. But you can't move forward. Excuse me. So this is a word of caution for you, right? This is can't live with you, can't live without you energy for some of you. Excuse me. I don't know why I keep wanting to cough. I was totally fine until I started doing your reading, Virgo. So either some of you are I'm picking up on your coughing energy, or there's a lot of energy moving through this reading. I do energy healing, and there's times when I'm doing energy healing where energy will pass through and I'll cough and I'll sneeze. But it's usually when somebody's in front of me and I'm like moving my hands over and like moving the energy. But could be happening like this distance-wise with us. Some of you are clearing and some of you are releasing right now. I would just say, my darlings, be very cautious. Be very cautious. Proceed with caution. You thought it was over, but it ain't. It sure as heck ain't. This ain't over. This ain't over. And so if you want it to be over, you're going to have to proceed with caution here. Okay? You're going to have to go cold turkey, no contact, keep it at no contact. And if there's just things in your heart you need to say it in the spirit realm, say it in a cord cutting, do some kind of spiritual release and leave it at that. Because if you really don't want this to pick up again, there's no way, if you all have some kind of communication or physical contact, there's no way in heck it's not going to pick up again. There's too much fire here. Right? Even though we're looking at an earth sign energy, we've got King of Wands and that Queen of Wands. That's very fast moving, very swept up, very, very sexy energy. Okay? There's just too much chemistry here. There's too much chemistry here. Some of you are already with somebody else, but you're missing the chemistry or the fire that you had with Virgo, right? And so it's saying, hey, you need to create that chemistry. You need to create that fire in a new relationship. Otherwise you're going to end up going back to Virgo. And for some of you, that might not be a good idea, depending on your Virgo and depending on your situation. It's going to be different for different ones of you. Let's see what Virgo has to say to Crosswatcher. What does Virgo want Crosswatcher to know? Okay. What does Virgo want Crosswatcher to know? What does Virgo want Crosswatcher to know? Okay. So there's a message on the back of this card. I'm going to read it to you, but first I want to look at the picture because I read here through images and through intuition. So what's jumping out at me here is this is someone who's fighting some battles. They're in their armor, right? They maybe are wanting to be your knight in shining armor, but they got to go take care of some stuff. They got to work on themselves, and they realize this. And they see you as like this queen or this king or this royal person. They see you as somebody above them, and they need to work on themselves, right? Or they're trying to come into their own royal energy. The fact that they have their foreheads resting against each other and there's a bit of a glow here, that's jumping out at me, and this is making me feel like you all do have a spiritual or telepathic communication. You may be able to pick up on each other's thoughts or feelings or moods or whatever it might be. This moon in the back is making me feel like there even may be some dream visitations that are happening here, or messages being delivered through dreams. The message itself on the back is: desire does not demand love before it traps you, but desire with love creates a powerful bond. This person feels stuck. They can't seem to get over this connection. Okay? They feel very bonded to you. They feel like they need you. Even when you are all away from each other, they feel like they can feel you, you can feel them. It's that type of a connection. And if they had the courage to tell you this, they would tell you this. But maybe they don't know how to tell you this because they don't want to seem vulnerable, or they feel silly saying it, or they are worried that they're going to sound crazy saying it. But they feel you, they think about you. They can sense when you're worrying about them, and vice versa. They feel this powerful bond. What would be good for Crosswatcher to convey to Virgo? If anything, some of you gotta not communicate. But those of you who are in a less toxic or less dramatic connection, what would be good for Crosswatcher to convey to Virgo? And again, I will read the message on the back. We're going to look at the picture. So there's some distance here, okay? Even if you're married to this person, even if you're living with them, there's a bit of a rift, okay? There's a bit of an awkwardness. There's a bit of a distance right now. It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. So some of you, it's like you need to go back for closure, right? And if that's the case, you're going to have to do it in a way where you're preparing yourself for it. Or you're going to have to just decide that maybe your Virgo has things that you're not happy about, but you're just going to have to accept what it is. Now, I really need to say this. It's actually sad that I have to say it because you think it would go without saying. But based on the comments, it seems that I need to clarify this. If you are dealing with someone who's being abusive towards you, who's beating you up or cheating on you or being, emotionally abusive, you gotta get out of there. I am not telling anybody to accept that. I do not want that kind of life for anybody, okay? But if it's less severe, if it's just more things about the person that are irritating you or irking you, if there's just things about them where you feel like maybe you're on a higher vibe than they are, or whatever it might be, or you are just on a different frequencies, things like that. But if this person's being abusive, obviously I'm not telling you to accept that, guys. Come on. I'm not telling you to accept that. But, some of you are at this crossroads where you're having to make this decision. And it's like, you're going to have to make a decision because you all aren't completely and totally away from each other yet. Even if you're, either there's tension in the relationship, you got to fix it or you got to move on. Or if you haven't had contact, there's still this spiritual gateway, between the two of you, and that needs to be shut so you can move on, okay? Or you're going to have to do what you need to do to go back and get the closure. But I would really suggest, if this is a Virgo who has hurt you, if this is a Virgo who has been toxic or dangerous or narcissistic, then I would say get that closure through some cord cutting or some banishing. Don't even, reach out to them, is what, just my 2 cents, right? But everybody's situation is different. You know what resonates with you. You know what's better for your situation. It's going to be different for different ones of you. I highly, highly recommend that you watch your love video for your zodiac sign for the month of June. It's going to be out in the next couple of days. After this video loads, I'm going to start loading the weekly forecasts for each zodiac sign, and that's going to be focused on your money, your career, your family life, your spiritual development for the week. I do those every single week, and then once a month I do a love reading and I do a cross-watching reading. So be sure to check out your weekly forecasts as well, but I would really check out your love reading too when it's up in a couple of days. If you hit subscribe and hit notification, you'll get a notice when those are up. I am wishing you the very best, Crosswatcher. This is one for the books. This connection is one for the books. So just be cautious, and if you're not sure what to do, if you're not sure, take this up in prayer, take this up in meditation, ask your guardian angels and guides to direct you. But this is one of those situations where you can't just be friends. You can't. Some of you, this person's going to reach out and they're going to want that from you. They're going to say, look, I know I messed up. I know I was wrong, but I care about you and I at least want you in my life as a friend, even though I understand maybe you moved on, you've got somebody better than me. I at least want to have your friendship. And you, Crosswatcher, may have this great big heart where you're just like, oh, okay, fine. But no, it's not going to end there. Okay, so just be careful. Be careful. All right, my darlings, wishing you all the best.